too. Nope. Check one more guy in the water here. Whoa. Alright. Well, I kind of liked this guy. Right over here. Which one was he? I think it was this guy. Don't worry guys, it's just Gatorade. Alright. So, it is always very important that when you're grabbing onto your alligator, make sure that there's no other alligators right next to him. It's also very important to always be grabbing it on the non-toothy end, okay guys? Real quick. Come on. There it is. Okay. So, now we're real quick. Alright, give him a tug. And we have our volunteer for today. So, now, let's clear off our stage a little bit here. Get back. Come on. There we go, good boy. Okay, we're going to bring him around here, show everybody his pretty little smile. The reason I'm bringing him around is that due to the location of his eyes on top of his head, he can see what's above him and to the sides, but he can't see directly behind him. So that's right where I want to be when I jump on his back. When I jump on his back, I'm going to jump land with my hands on his neck and my knees in his armpits. Now we're real quick. Give him a tug. Hands on the neck, knees in the armpits. Yeehaw. So, the reason behind landing with your knees in his armpits here is to kind of chicken wing him. It prevents him from coming out beneath you. So as you guys can see, help me, he can't do anything. So, this is at this point in the show where I really like to give my alligator a nice chance to catch his breath. And it is also at this point in the show that I'd like to remind my crowd that this will be an audience participation show from this point forward. So by that what I mean is that if one of this guy's buddies is coming a little too close behind me, I want you guys all to yell and scream as loud as you can, warning me, okay? Do you guys think you can do that here for me today? No, who said no? Alright, you can, whoever that was, you can come in during the feeding portion of that. So the alligator, he is an amphibious reptile. He's not an amphibian. An amphibian would be like a frog, a toad, a salamander. But he is amphibious, and so he does spend a great deal of his time in the water, and a lot of that time is spent underwater. So he is very well adapted for that aquatic lifestyle. He can hold his breath for several hours at a time, and how long he can hold his breath depends on how warm or cold it is, and how active they are determines how fast they do burn up that oxygen. So we're going to get this guy, open up his mouth here. Open up. Open up. Alright. So with this guy, and maybe if you notice one of the other guys hanging around with their mouths open, you'll notice that you cannot actually see down his throat. And that's because the back of his tongue is acting as a valve, allowing that alligator to open his mouth while he's underwater there without actually taking in any water into his stomach. The nostrils are located on top of the snout here, and they are also equipped with valves. And due to that location of his eyes on top of his head, it allows him to submerge beneath the surface of the water with only those eyes above the surface. And while that is a great adaptation for hunting, it does at the same time leave those eyes in a very vulnerable position. And so they are retractable back into his skull, and they're then protected by a heavy bony ridge here. So when this guy opens up his eyes here, you'll notice that they kind of roll forward. And that's due to a secondary eyelid known as the nictitating membrane. And that membrane functions similar to a pair of diving goggles, allowing that alligator to open his eyes while he's underwater there. His ears, they're located here behind the eyes, and those are also equipped with valves. So as you guys can see, the alligator is very well adapted for that aquatic lifestyle. And so like I was saying earlier, due to that location of their eyes on top of their heads, it allows them to see what's above them and to the sides, but they can't see directly behind them. More importantly, they can't see directly in front of them, allowing me to wiggle my fingers out in front here. I can't see nothing, and I can even go so far as to now the inside of an alligator's mouth is very sensitive. Even the slightest tick is going to send his jaws crashing shut with thousands of pounds of pressure per square inch. So who wants to see what's going to happen if I reach in there and give him just a little tickle? A vote. If you guys want to see me do this trick, yell and scream as loud as you can right now. Okay, who doesn't want to see me do this? You guys can get a little bit louder than that. Alright, so this is a very dangerous trick. This is when a lot of alligator wrestlers do get bit. I just started doing this actually last week. So far, so good. So all 5 fingers. Let's see here. Okay. Did everybody see that? No? Alright, 1, nobody blink here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Alright, so now probably the most important part of being on an alligator's back is knowing when and how to get off. When, now seems like a good time. How, we're going to cover up his eyes here, make sure he's nice and calm. Then we're real quick going to back up off of him. That is alligator wrestling. Let's give our volunteer here a round of applause. Alright. So, the next portion of the show, it is my favorite part. It is the feeding portion. So now what I'm going to need from you guys is 4 or 5 smallish volunteers. Don't think you guys really get what I mean by that one. No, I do have a bucket of chicken in the back here, so I'm going to run back, grab you guys that chicken, and I'll show you guys just how these guys are fed. So just 1 second here, and I'll be right back out. Alright. Now, if I were to just come out here and start throwing out random pieces of chicken, it would not be too long before these animals started to associate me with food. And not too long after that before I actually become food. And so that's not a good thing. And so we have taught them to associate this green bucket as a visual signal, and me banging on the bucket with this stick as a sound signal, kind of working as a sort of a dinner bell for these guys. So as you guys can see here, these guys are standing in the green bucket right now. They're getting a little bit antsy. They know they're about to get fed. So let's see what happens here. Just a little more activity now. Okay. So, like I was saying earlier, due to that location of their eyes on top of their heads, they can see the meat as it's thrown. They hear it hit the ground, and then it's a matter of feeling for it. They can't actually see it when it's on the ground there. With that guy, you'll notice he did a slight chewing motion. We'll give our volunteer here a piece too. Oh. One more time. I guess you get another piece. There you go. So, when he does pick that up, he kind of had to roll his head to the side in order to pick up that piece of chicken. And that's because their necks are too short, their heads are too long to simply bend straight down for that chicken. So you saw there how he had to roll his head to the side. With these guys in the water here, when they do grab that piece of chicken, you notice he actually had to bring his head above the surface of the water in order to swallow it. We'll try it again with one of these guys. This guy right here. So he grabs it.
See that little crawling scene on the edge of that water?
You guys are watching behind me, right? Hurry up. Grab it.
That guy's waiting to bite.
Well, at least he's a little one. Alright.